This podcast is part of Another Happy Studios,
the home of podcasts with passion.
Hey folks, welcome to the Fishing Trip Files, a Gavin and Stacey podcast brought to you by Another Happy Studios. This is a podcast where every other week we like to take a look back at the wonderful, hilarious and silly little British sitcom that is Gavin and Stacey. My name is Pierce and I've been a lifelong fan of the show, but for my co-hosts, it's their very first time watching. Speaking of co-hosts, hailing all the way from the USA, I'm joined by the one-of-a-kind Ari. Ari, how you doing?
That's me. Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, thank you. And of course, dialing in from the exotic land of Canada, we are joined by the brilliant Maylina. How you doing, mate?
Good, you?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Cool. Well, we nailed that. We all said how you doing in the perfect amount of time. That was great.
I don't like that you say it twice. Because I ask you how you're doing, and then May asks you how you're doing. It's redundant.
No, I don't think that's redundant at all. Everyone should be checking in on how I'm doing.
All right, then
May,
how are you doing?
I'm good, but I think it's a good idea just because maybe Pierce's state of mind has changed in the last 3 seconds since he's been here. And it's good to get recent updates.
Exactly.
How are you, Ari?
Oh, I'm great, thank you. How are you, May?
I'm great. How are you, Pierce?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. How are you doing, mate?
I'm doing great.
No,
Audience at home, how are you doing?
This bit is done. All right, moving on.
I don't like it.
What are we here to talk about today? What are we doing?
Gavin and Stacey, the TV show.
It's season 2, man. This is it.
Yeah,
We're on
we did it.
series 2. Like, we've finished series 1. It's no more.
The haters said it couldn't be done.
Yeah, for real.
They said we'd never get to season 2, episode 1 of Gavin and Stacey.
They're writing it every week.
They're writing their hate columns like, these guys will make it to episode 6 at best.
Right, I assume we don't know the title of the episode?
No, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Okay, wait. Can we?
You can try and guess, but I don't know whether this is a good bit.
Okay, we don't have to.
No, go ahead. If you got a good one.
Great. Italian night.
Okay. May, do you want to counter that?
The threesome. Because it's always something very specific and, minor to the plot.
Can you imagine that's airing on, primetime TV?
Literally. Okay. Unfortunately, you were both wrong. The title is just They're Back. That's it.
Oh, that's back. Cute. I like that.
Yeah, and it was aired on the 16th of March 2008, which is actually so it's a year later from the previous episode that we did, and it's actually the same day that the next episode was aired. This is definitely a part 1, part 2 scenario. These first 2 episodes, they're
it does kind of end. I didn't even think about that, but it does kind of end on a cliffhanger, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of Gavin and Stacey episodes do end on a cliffhanger. This is just sort of like another, they all do, don't they? Really?
It's just not like Doctor Who, where it's like they're like Daleks. They're like Daleks about to shoot.
Yeah. It's more like someone's just had a row with someone, and that's the cliffhanger.
How's this gonna be resolved? I can't wait until next week to find out.
So do we have any overall thoughts on the episode before we get started?
I do.
I thought you would. Go on.
Okay. All right. So, Pierce, I feel like you're always worrying about whether we're going to like this show or not. So, I feel like
this was a tough one for me.
This bit is a little bit hard because I feel like anytime me or May say anything remotely that sounds negative about the show, you look like you're about to have a panic attack. So, this part up top is really stressful. I don't know. I guess for me, this whole experience of making this podcast has been really cool. So whether or not we like the episodes, I want you to stop panicking.
Okay.
I don't know. You were saying to us the other day that this show brings back a lot of memories for you of a specific time in your life. And what I was thinking about when I was writing the notes for this episode is that you're kind of creating that same experience for me and May, I think. I don't want to talk for May, but okay. I know whenever I watch this show, I'm going to be thinking about making this cool podcast with you guys.
Oh, that's really nice.
And anyway, what I'm trying to say is the episode was fine, I guess.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Is that So are you saying it's fine because there's some really good bits and some really, really bad bits?
Yeah, it's fine.
Or is it just basically fine the whole way through?
Yeah, the first one.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel better, at least. Like, I'd prefer that than the second one.
Okay.
May, what did you think of the episode?
This is awkward. Because I have this down as the best episode so far.
Yes! Yes! Let's go!
An Ari May disagreement is not a universe I want to live in. Pierce, do you have any up the top thoughts?
Oh, I do. First of all, I want to say, because we're now at season 2, I feel like I can say this. I've always thought of season 2 as my least favourite series of the 3.
Okay.
That's not to say I don't like season 2. I still think I absolutely adore it. I love every single episode again with Stacey. But I just think it's the weakest of the 3. But having said that, what a strong start. I love this episode. So I adore it. Like, you got the whole family together, which I instantly love. This is great. You know, that's just a recipe for greatness for me. You got some great, like, character moments between everyone, some great plot developments. It's just a banger. I love it. I think it's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I also wrote, about half an hour ago, before we recorded, I also wrote, I think part of why I hate this series so much is Stacey's haircut this series angers me for no discernible reason.
Really? I think I liked it.
It gives me Dido vibes, and it also gives me, is it Mary Kate or Ashley who had that exact fucking haircut at one point in the 2000s?
I have no idea.
Okay, I only know because of like a YouTube channel I watch where they did this whole series where they went through every single Mary Kate and Ashley movie, and I remember one of them had that haircut at one point. So there we go.
It's very like late 2000s, isn't it?
I'm just trying to reach the Mary Kate and Ashley audience that we might have.
Yeah, for sure.
Who was your favorite? Let me know.
Email in. Who's your favorite? Olsen twins?
Yeah, Olsen twin.
We'll make this a segment every episode.
Every episode we'll read out a different viewer's favorite Olsen twin.
And you better have a justification for it. I don't want you to just pick the best name.
Come on. We're expecting an essay here.
Yeah.
2,000 words in triplicate. On my desk by Monday morning. Alright, how does the episode start?
With a phone call.
With a plane landing.
Oh yeah, you're so right.
Come on! Every single shot matters.
Anything else we're missing about the airplane? Any other notes on that?
What's written on the side of the airplane?
It does open with a phone call. It's the first phone call where they're not at their desks. They're arriving back from their honeymoon. How exciting.
Wow, they're messing with the formula. They're messing with the formula.
Yeah, they're messing with the formula. And also messing with the formula is Stacey just being racist right off the bat. How do we feel about this, guys? This is my favourite bit of the episode. I don't know about you.
I missed half this line the first time I watched it. I missed the I just heard the bit about the shoe, where she was like, someone was messing with a shoe, and that wasn't as bad. I thought that was kind of funny. It's like, post 9/11. But then the second time through, I caught that she was talking about a woman in a veil. I was like, all right.
I had a bit of like, of course it's fucked up, but also I want to point out that a few episodes ago when Jason was introduced, I said that it wouldn't have been surprising if Brynn was homophobic, because in the 2000s, in that time period, you could be, as a character, homophobic and a good person, and this is exactly what I mean. This proves my point exactly, because Stacey is considered not a protagonist, because the protagonist is just main character, so I guess she would be protagonist. She's considered like a positive character, she's not considered a bad person, and she also is racist. So I'm just saying, this proves my fucking point. And you guys were trying to fucking cancel me for it. And here we fucking go.
Yeah, no, all right. So, May, what I was going to say is I think it's really brave of you to raise that point a second time.
Listen, I'm fucking right. I'm not saying racism is good. I'm just saying, in this time period, you could be considered a good TV character and also be fucking racist or homophobic or whatever.
Cool. That's an interesting take.
This whole scene does feel like a 2008 period piece.
Yeah, for sure. It's, I mean, we could yap on about it, but I like,
And yeah, who among us wants to yap on about a short Gavin and Stacey scene? Insane.
I feel like that's targeted, but we'll move past it.
All right. Oh, I also, speaking of how the episode starts, there's no previously on again, which I dislike.
Oh, okay.
I like when there's a previously on. It gives me a second to get collected.
That's a good point, Ari. I'd think like any scene that would, if we're gonna have it previously on any like episode, wouldn't it be like the season premiere of a new season a year after the last episode?
There's also they also like, you know, at the beginning it's usually over the previously on, but they have that like jaunty like guitar riff. It's like the Don't Look Back on the Sun one.
Oh yeah.
They have a new one this
Yeah, I've got this.
So far I don't like it as much.
Oh shit. It's Don't Look Back Into the Sun is by the Libertines, I think.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. This is a song by Razorlight. I've written it down somewhere.
All right.
But yes, so Stacey just has left Gavin for dead, and she's like, you know, I left you to get bombed, but I was going to text you, so I'm not all bad, which I think is a really funny little gag. Oh shit! Speaking of having notes, I don't think. Does anyone have that? Well, actually, don't tell me. But I don't think I have a That's French this episode.
I have a related. Yeah, don't worry about it. I don't have a That's French though.
Panicking, man. This is worrying. We our recurring bit, and it's not going to happen.
We'll get it. We'll figure this out in the next few hours. I have faith in us. Let's rewatch the episode now. Come back later.
No, Stacey's bought Nessa a Greek flag for her collection. Pretty fucking sick, right? Nessa's a vexillologist.
Sure. If you guys are a vexillologist, write in. Let us know what your favorite flag is and why.
For real. I agree. And then just before titles, there's Stacey acting like just sort of playing around, acting like a kid, like pretending she's a celebrity. And Gavin joins in, like walking out with the sunglasses on. It's just a cute little moment between them. And then we go to titles.
Very cute. And then the next scene, we see Mick and Pam holding a welcome home sign.
Yeah, boy.
That Pam made. What did she say? It took 3 hours to make or something like that?
She couldn't spell Stacey.
I wrote, Pam is Maylina coded here, 3 hours on a sign and being like, I knew how to spell it, I just got confused. Because of the big pen.
I actually have a question about this later on, because in this scene and in like the next little bit, Pam is a bit of a yapper. Is this? And I remember episode 1 or something. You were like, there's an episode where Pam is very Maylina coded, and in that moment, I said, "Oh my god, is this the scene where Pierce said Pam gave Maylina vibes? Insane. Is this it?"
No, I'm pretty sure that was her being like pretending to be vegetarian.
Interesting.
I think that was
I've never pretended to be vegetarian in my life.
Yeah, I know, but like you're an anxious person, and that was something that you would do.
Okay.
You haven't pretended to be a vegetarian yet.
Yeah, it is on my bucket list. Yeah.
So they say they've been gone. Gavin and Stacey have been gone for 22 days. And I wrote Maylina, wondering if you have any timeline thoughts on this season.
the only real note I have about this is that like Mick and Pam are arguing about, and then she says they've been gone for over 3 weeks, and Mick says, well, 22 days. And I just want to let everybody know that I'm on Pam's side. 22 days is over 3 weeks, so she's right about that. I don't understand what Mick's problem is. Also, what's a pillock?
I feel like it's just an insult. It's like a tosser, a wanker, a pillock, an idiot, you know.
Got it. All right. Also, 3 hours of prepping, you might as well hold that sign up properly.
For sure.
That's just my take on the whole thing.
She calls him Michael. I don't know if we've gotten that before.
I love this. I love it when she says Mick, Michael. It's so realistic. Yeah. But then, as soon as Pam sees the titular Gavin and Stacey, she just chucks the sign anyway, which is hilarious. She just chucks it and starts running over to him.
I like the idea that Stacey got a haircut on her honeymoon. Very cute.
Oh shit, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, on her honeymoon, she went into like a hairstylist and was like, "Give me the Dido cut."
Maybe like it was like a spa treatment. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Oh yeah, and this is where I've written like throughout the first 5 minutes of this episode, we get "Before I Fall to Pieces" by Razorlight coming in and out.
Yeah.
I can't even. It's really good.
Yeah.
And Stacey, you know, she's pleased to see Pam and Mick, which is nice. She's like all smiley and excited to see them. She's like running over
and
to
then and then they start asking questions about the honeymoon and stuff, and Pam kind of takes over and talks about like this bad experience she had on like on some type of trip she took.
Just before that,
Yeah.
Gavin says to Mick, "Oh, you're right, Dad. Nice sign." And then Mick says, "Do me a favour." Is that a phrase over across the pond? Do me a favour?
I didn't catch that. I don't know what. Yeah, no, that means nothing to me.
Yeah, it just means like, shut up. Do me a favour. Give it a rest. Yeah, okay.
That's cute. I'll be using that from now on.
Do me a favour.
Do me a flavor, Broseph.
Yeah. But yeah, then as you were saying, May, they start walking to the car and talking about the holiday, and and then I've written Pam again becomes very Maylina coded. She just she basically starts off on this massive tangent about bed sheets on her holiday from a few years ago.
She said traps.
She said traps.
It's the cut that makes it funny.
Yeah,
that really reminds me of how you edit our podcast too. So they do a cut. She's talking about how she's setting a trap to make sure that they were actually changing her bed sheets or something.
Yeah.
And then they're walking to the parking lot, and then they do a cut, and they're in the car driving, and she's still exactly. Those darn hotel people.
The key thing that you should learn from this, Maylina, is that they've probably cut out like I want to say 20 minutes of conversation here, and we still get the point. We still get what Pam was saying. We don't need all that additional context.
Okay, but listen, they're all the better for it.
For sure.
You gotta add fucking sauce, man. You can't just be like, okay, if I'm telling a story about how I had a bad experience at like a hotel, I could say, hey guys, I had a bad experience at a hotel, and everybody goes like, Or I could go like, I set traps. And this, and so which version do you want to hear, Pierce? Because I'll adapt.
I love you.
Yeah, fair enough, whatever.
Yeah.
And another thing, like, you've got a point, because Stacey is super into the story. Like, you'll notice Stacey is, like, nodding along, like, go on, yeah, tell me more, keep going. So,
and it only gets interrupted when Bryn calls. And I'm sure that had Bryn not called, there would have been more to the story.
Yeah, for real.
The hero of the piece.
Yeah. I love the way Bryn answers the phone, or picks up, like, calls the phone, because he goes, "Come in, London, can you hear me?" He's on the phone. Like, imagine if every time we started a call, "Come in, Texas, can you hear me?"
We should start doing that. I'll say it. He's using his sat nav, and
I've got that exact note. Bryn's on his sat nav again.
I'm glad he hasn't given up on it after saying that it was shit.
Yeah.
But Stacey asks where Ness is, and there's a little bit of concern in her voice.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out she's just a trucker now or something?
Yeah, she's... Bryn says she's following behind. I'll try her on the radio, right? And then instantly you know something hilarious is afoot with that.
Well, okay, so I wrote Bryn with another gadget with this.
Un gadget, as they say in French.
Oh, shit, we did it!
Is gadget French? I feel... maybe this is French. Hang on,
I always assumed it was an English word that French people used, not the other way around.
Etymology. We've got to find that that's French, because we don't have one this episode.
I don't think gadget is French.
It is. The origin is French.
Interesting.
It comes from gadget, meaning tall.
Okay.
And also gâchette with T's, meaning lock mechanism.
This is interesting. I thought it was like the French took it from the English and not the other way around, but all right. So we got it.
It's good we found one. It's good we found one, or another Happy Studios might have canceled us.
Something else that I like in this scene is Nessa and Bryn both came up. I've noticed that like Nessa and Bryn have like a bit of a bromance in this episode that I really like.
Yeah.
And in this episode they got like trucker names for each other, and that's so cute.
Nessa is Robert Mugabe and Bryn is Dame Judi Dench. Which is so specific and weird, but I love it. It's so good.
It's interesting because of what they kind of implied last episode. Was that like Bryn had a thing for Nessa. And now they're like...
I will say, getting together with like your best friend's uncle is quite the move.
It's
not quite as egregious as like your best friend's parents, but
Yeah.
it's like the next step.
It's up there.
And it's
Yeah,
like
for
her
real.
father. It's like her father figure too.
That's true.
And speaking of getting together with your friend's parents, how are you guys' parents going?
I don't want to answer that question.
How was your mom's birthday, Pierce?
Stop pretending like you've both had sex with my mum. I don't like this bit.
Let her know I'll see her tomorrow after work. I finish at 5. I should be there like in a few hours after.
As all this discussion with Bryn and Nessa is happening on the radio, we get a shot of Pam and Mick who are listening in, and they're just sort of giggling to each other. I love them. I love them so much. I love the two of them. I love Pam and Mick.
And they get home.
They are home. And they're talking about the wedding, and
Yeah.
we get a mention of Auntie Christine and Cousin John having a fight at the wedding, and I'm like, why did we not see this? I wanted to see Auntie Christine and Cousin John having a fight.
It's a very real post-event conversation where they're just like, well, can you believe this happened and everything like that? And I don't know. It was very real to me. I was like, this is a very realistic conversation. Not to repeat myself 4 different ways.
I want to say that we've also heard about Auntie Christine before. She's been mentioned already in the show. In season 1, episode 3, Pam was telling Gavin about how when she first met Mick's family, she walked in on Auntie Christine giving his Uncle John something. Remember this?
Yes, I remember this.
And then Mick walks in and she's like, I'll tell you later.
Yes. So presuming that now Gavin's aware of this story.
I assume so, yeah. I mean, she said she'd tell him later. It's now later. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been, I'll tell you what, it's been 11 weeks exactly. 11 weeks and 1 day.
Oh,
That's
shit.
Insane timing.
Look at that.
Well, hold on. Did they leave on the honeymoon like the day after their wedding though?
Maybe not. All right. You called me out, man. My math might be off. Whatever.
Wow, Mr. Gavin and Stacey.
Mr. Gavin.
But yeah, Stacey's asking about Smithy again with that same sort of concern.
I always have concern when I'm asking about Smithy, though. I think that's warranted.
Yeah.
Maybe not the same type of concern, but a very similar one.
And when Stacey asks Mick about Smithy, Mick says, "Oh well, you know what Smithy's like. He's always a drama queen." And I'm sure Ari cheered for the call out from Mick there.
Smithy gets worse as this episode goes on.
I feel like it's more of the same for Smithy, no? Which is more of it's not like he's doing anything that he's not done before.
Yeah, no, but this isn't my note on Smithy for this episode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We'll get to it.
But then Toothpaste Kisses by the Maccabees starts playing, and Gavin carries Stacey indoors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very cute. He just like grabs her.
Yeah. I love Stacey's laugh. It's really a nice laugh. It's an adorable little laugh. But then later on, maybe half an hour later or so, 20 minutes later.
Yeah, they're at the kitchen table. That's Pam and Stacey. And
yes.
They're just talking shit.
Yeah, man, they're talking about Stacey having a new name.
Yeah. Yeah, we missed this in the truck scene. Yeah, or the car scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
there's a moment.
Was it Bryn calls Stacey Mrs. Shipman, and Stacey's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah. Pam and Stacey both think they're talking about Pam.
Yeah.
Pam is talking about how like she actually regrets changing her last name because she thinks that her old last name is glamorous. I agreed that it was like pretty glamorous. I also would have been like kind of peeved on it. Unironically, I think it's a pretty great last name that she had.
I think the bit that they're going for is that it's not a glamorous name, maybe.
Yeah, but I think it is.
But it serves cunt. Yeah.
I don't know whether that's the bit they're going for.
Really? I don't know. I was kind of thinking. I wasn't completely sure. Like maybe it's not.
Maybe it's just because I think what the bit is, the Pam's maiden name is really like exotic and not something you hear something that I've definitely never heard before.
Yeah.
Whereas Pam is just like a white bread woman. Like she's someone we've all met who would quite easily have the last name Smith. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's what the joke is. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
When we get Ruth Jones on the show, we'll ask her what she was thinking.
Yeah, for sure.
Be ready for that, guys.
But then Pam has a line. Oh, this is just I wrote I'll just read my note verbatim, right? Because I've got in quotes, I feel like I'd lost my identity, like Anne Frank felt after they found her, and then I just put, what the fuck, in all caps.
Yeah, I wrote this down too.
The parents make a sex joke in front of their kid. Brutal.
Yeah, some family chat about Mick's penis. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
Brutal.
It's not the last mention we get about Mick's penis this episode either.
Yeah, but those two jokes contradict each other, no? Because Pam's dick joke is
they do.
His dick is small. So who are we to trust? Who's the real fucking source of information? Fucking contradicting sources, man. You don't get unbiased journalism anywhere in this episode. Show his penis.
Show us the penis.
Show Mick's penis. If you're chanting along at home, just know I appreciate you.
Honestly, for all we know, that's coming.
For all we know, could be. I'm not saying anything.
Season 3 finale, I'm sure.
Mick just gets his dick out.
And he's like, and there's like a live voting option where you can vote in if his dick is small or not.
You got like Dermot O'Leary's presenting it and decking the wings. So Simon Cowell and like Piers Morgan and Amanda Holden and the judges like pressing the buzzers. What are we doing?
Alright, they're outside again.
Yeah. Gwen and Bryn arrive, and Bryn's saying Gallimera to everyone. He's doing a Greek dance. What a guy. I love him. He's just the best.
He says he's learned Greek, but it's just like he's just repeating the one phrase. I just think that's so fucking funny.
He's not saying he learnt Greek.
You know what? I believe him.
He's like, I learned some Greek.
He's saying he learnt good morning in Greek.
Oh, okay, well, whatever.
That's Greek for good morning. I learnt it.
So cute.
And he's got a t-shirt as well.
Oh my god, right, fucking
So funny.
the t-shirt. I love Bryn so much. Like you just know he saw an image of that t-shirt on like MySpace or something, pissed himself laughing, and just had to have one made for himself.
So good.
It reminds me of like I don't know if you guys have seen like The American Office.
Yeah.
There's a bit in one of the episodes where the boss character Michael, he like pulls out a cup that says number one's best boss, and then he's like, I bought that for myself. And it's like, it's funny because it's the same joke, but because of the character that it is, it goes from being like weird to like wholesome depending on like what show it's in.
I really like the UK Office. I'm not so much of a fan of the US Office.
He's not like other girls, I guess.
Whatever, I don't care. But no one yes-ands Bryn at all. What the fuck?
That's what I wrote. I wrote no one is yes-anding him.
Yeah, that's what I wrote, man. This is an amazing bit, Bryn. I'm so proud of you. You killed it. I'd be all over that shit. It's great.
That is a hilarious thing to do, yeah.
I think I wrote this in the next scene. But I've said before, Bryn is my favorite character in this show. I think he's becoming one of my favorite characters, like, in television. I love this guy.
Oh, yes! I love that. Oh, fuck.
I think I've said that, like, it, like, alternates between Nessa and Bryn, and this was a very Bryn-heavy episode for me, where it was, like, the gap between the two characters kind of got bigger, with Bryn being like my favorite.
Oh, right.
It's an ongoing battle. If you
Hold on, Pierce. I wanted to ask you this last episode, and I should have.
Sure.
So you kind of like avoid telling us a lot of your thoughts because you've seen the whole show. But I think it would be good. I think you should tell us who is your favorite character, like up through season 1. I think now maybe you can give us a little bit more.
I think... God, it's so hard to pick. I think the funniest character, the one who makes me laugh the most, is probably Bryn. But I think if I were to, my favourite character, like the one I would want to be in my life, I think would be Mick.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
But I think that will become more clear.
Okay, yeah.
Why later in the show.
Mick is cool. I like Mick.
Yeah, I fucking love him. But yeah, then Ness arrives, and Nessa says a line here, which I use in my daily life, well, weekly. I say it like once a week at least. When she arrives, she goes, She could be a cruel mistress, the M25, but today I've been lucky. And anytime I go anywhere and someone asks me how the journey was, I'll use that phrase. I'll be like, even if I've just been on a train, I'll be like, she could be a cruel mistress, the Great Western Railway, but today I've been lucky.
Very good.
I like how she shakes everybody's hand.
Yeah, she greets everyone.
Mick, Stacey, Bryn.
The exact same way. She hasn't seen Stacey in 3 weeks, her best friend, and she just treats her like she's like anyone else.
And I also like they're going inside, and there's like this very cute moment where Nessa goes like, "So did they like the T-shirt?" What they think about the T-shirt, and Bryn goes like, "Mixed reviews."
Yeah,
it's so cute
Nessa
that like
knew.
Those monsters. They should have.
Yeah, Bryn told Nessa about it.
Yeah. They're besties.
He
man.
was so you just know he was so excited to show him that T-shirt. And they gave him nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, so good, man. But we also get another lore drop about Nessa. She used to be a roadie for The Who. And then she found out. Do you know this stuff about Pete Townsend?
No.
I don't even know who Pete Townsend is.
I have a feeling you're going to tell us.
I am going to tell you.
No.
Pete Townsend is a member of The who was found with child porn, I think, is what I understand. And his excuse for having it was he was writing a book about how easy it is to get a hold of the stuff. And that's why Nessa says, "Where is the book?" Because there was no book ever released.
That's all right.
Yeah, so that goes pretty hard from Nessa, I won't lie.
Yeah, no, that's a good line. Fuck.
Yeah, so they go inside and they're having a cup of tea.
Yeah, they're in the living room. And yeah, there we go. I don't know if anybody has any notes before me, so I'll shut the fuck up.
Wait, hold on.
All right, give us a vague idea of your next note, and I'll tell you whether there's anything beforehand.
Smithy's here when I
come off it. You're 10 minutes ahead. It's basically the end of the episode. What are you doing?
My next note is about Smithy as well. So how about you?
The
take
two
it
of you are
Pierce?
Pierce, take the
useless.
floor.
Why do I bother? I'll just do this solo. I'm quitting the band.
Pierce, I gotta tell you, I got in trouble in my first graduate program, and the reason was that my advisor didn't like that I didn't take notes when she was talking.
That's funny.
She had a list of grievances against me, but that was on there.
I have a whole I have like 6 notes about this next scene. How do you guys have nothing? Whatever.
Well, let's get into it. I'll give you what I have off the dome.
First one doesn't really matter. Second one requires the first one, so it doesn't matter.
What?
Oh no, this is good stuff, man. Why did you guys not write notes on this?
No,
right.
Bro, you can talk about it. We're giving you the floor. Why are you cutting out these notes, man? Fill in the blank that we left.
All right. I'm gonna go into it. So Nessa stopped working for The Who in 1989, in March of 1989, no less. And then she started working with Eddie Stobart. Nessa has lived a rich and full life, has she not?
Yeah.
She's
Good on
done
her.
a lot of things.
Wait, how old is Nessa? 1989, she was working with The Who.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's funny. And she hasn't seen Carol Powell since 1982.
Yeah, but that could have been like, she was my friend when I was 8, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But working with The Who in 1989, that's a whole different can of beans, man.
I think the bit is just that no one knows how old Nessa is. She seems to have lived forever.
Right.
But Nessa wanted to get with Eddie Stobart, and she just thought Eddie thought that he was too good for her, man. It's bullshit.
For sure.
Fucking Nessa says it herself, man. She's like, since when has a great rack and an open mind not been a man's type?
That's a good night. That's a good line.
But yeah, they're talking about like what they're gonna have for dinner. They contemplate Chinese, but they decide on Italian. And let's go to Capriccio's.
Hell
Let's go to Capriccio's. Let's go.
Let's go to Capriccio. There
Let's
we
go.
Let's go to Capriccio's.
Let's go, man.
Fucking go. Let's go to fucking Capriccio's, bitch. Here we go. It's the place.
And you know what, Pierce?
Go on.
That's Italian. That's
Italian. Let's go. Oh, we're gonna get more of that. Oh,
I know.
One of my favorite scenes. All right.
Yeah.
Wait, before we do anything, Chinese or Italian? Which one are you guys picking?
Oh my god!
Right now.
Those are my 2 favorite food like places. That's insane.
Chinese. Really, I'm pretty. Really, the only thing I'll order is like a fried rice. I do really like fried rice though, so that's a good option for me.
Yeah, you're always getting fried rice.
Yeah.
Classic Ari.
That wasn't a bit. That was shit.
I'm just saying that's so fucking. That's such a funny read.
That wasn't a bit. I was just saying. Yeah, I agree. You do like fried rice. Yeah.
I can't lie. I do like fried rice.
Yeah, you're not lying about it.
I won't lie.
The Welsh is rubbing off.
I'll eat any fried rice though. So I don't know. I can't answer your question.
All right. You're getting dinner right now. You going Chinese or Italian? Come on. Both of you.
Italian, I guess.
Oh my god. I'm overthinking this because I don't want people. Okay. As of right now, okay?
Yes,
recording
right now. Right
time
this second.
right now.
Right this second.
5:06 Eastern Standard Time on the 25th of May, 2025. Chinese.
Oh, let's go.
But unironic, it's such a coincidence because those are my two favorite places to two favorite cultural foods.
Cuisines.
Yeah, cuisines. Yes, that's French.
That's French.
We did it, Chad.
We did
All
it.
right, Pierce.
Chinese or Italian?
So does shitty pizza places, does that count as Italian food? Like just the fucking
Sure.
Domino's, Pizza
Fuck
Hut.
it, everything's fake.
This was your bit. You decided.
That's true. This is my bit. I'm in control here. If I don't know, I feel weird about including calling Domino's Italian food. Feels very reductive.
I do like Domino's. I'm with you though.
Yeah. If crappy pizza places are included, then I'm definitely going Italian because pizza is my favorite takeaway.
All right,
But,
I'm sorry to editing Pierce because it's not gonna make the cut. But what's you guys' favorite pizza chain?
Chain.
Chain.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd say because I used to work at a Papa John's, so
okay.
it used to be Papa John's when I worked there because I'd be able to make the food exactly how I liked it. I'd be able to put extra cheese on it and have it fresh right from the oven, and it would be amazing. But now, anytime I go there, it's well, this isn't as good as it used to be. It's this is shit. So now it's Domino's. Now I think Domino's is my favorite.
Domino's is probably my favorite. I like their crust.
Yeah. What are you talking about, May?
There's a local one that I really like, but we're talking about chains right now, right?
For real,
Yeah.
So let me check to see if this isn't a chain or.
This is so unimportant. I just wanted to know.
No. Okay, there's a pizza chain in I think it's just Quebec that's called Prince, and Prince is pretty good. So
Okay.
there we go.
That was really concise, man. Well done. I'm really proud of you there. I thought we were going to be here for 5 minutes, but you nailed it.
You know what's fucking crazy? Before you said that, I had a story planned, and I was like, I'm not gonna say it. I didn't say it, and you called me out on it, man.
I'm so proud of you.
I didn't say the story, so you're still proud of me. I didn't do nothing.
Do you want to say the story anyway? And now that I'm asking for the story, I can't take the piss out of you
I
for it.
really want to. I really want to.
That's in the story.
It's short. It's short. As a kid,
So Smithy arrives, and he's not himself. He's very depressed. Doesn't want to talk
He's in a
to
mood.
anyone.
Yeah. what I've written is Smithy's here. Smithy's in a mood. Deep sigh. Here we go. Ari, take the floor.
Well, it hasn't come up. My note hasn't come up yet. This is all good comedy. Sure.
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, Gavin's trying to be hey, I'm fucking home or whatever, and Smithy's just having none of it.
He's being really dramatic. He feels very personally wronged by Gavin having left for a little over 3 weeks.
22 days, if you will.
And then Gavin is trying to justify himself. He's it wasn't just a vacation, it's my honeymoon. It was
But before this,
okay.
there's the whole so this there's a moment here where it seems like they're trying to convince us that Smithy is feeling this way because he's found out that Nessa's pregnant. It's sort of treated like a gotcha moment, but I don't know, it doesn't land.
Oh, that went over my head, to be honest.
Yeah,
because we've already, I don't know, to me it was already pretty obvious how
exactly.
Nessa was behaving, that she hadn't told him.
I don't really understand why they do this bit.
Smithy does go on a bit of a rant about how he's upset that he wasn't contacted, I guess, by Gavin throughout this whole honeymoon. And my note on this is that it's crazy that he says that he doesn't like that Gavin's phone was off for the honeymoon, which is hilarious, thinking that he expected Gavin's phone to be off for the stag, but not the fucking honeymoon.
That's a brilliant point that I hadn't considered. That's so good. Yeah, he's talking about how when he went away with Lucy and Lucy's nana.
Yes.
Okay, this was my note.
Lucy's nana knows about this relationship.
Yeah, no, I've got
and she's fine with it.
So I've got notes on this whole Smithy Nana situation.
Go on,
like
tell us more.
I don't know. To be like, I think Nana that's supposed to be your grandmother, right?
Yeah, sort of. I would assume so.
It feels like another kind of escalation where like Nana is like, I feel like very much like a word like a child would use to talk about their grandmother.
It's there to make it seem like she's younger than she is.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Like, that's the bit.
I can't believe we're still doing this fucking Lucy bit, man. I can't believe that she still hasn't turned 18.
I wrote Lucy and her nana. Pierce, this is what you're defending.
I love how Ari, you and I have this rivalry.
We're fighting through our notes, which is pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
I also think that it's very and I don't know if this was like intentional at all. Probably not. But like first episode, they do talk about Lucy's age. And they say that she's 17 and what was it, 3/4? Implying that she's gonna turn 18 soon. You said it's been at least 11 weeks. So either she's gonna turn 18 soon, or he was fucking lying about that, because it's still implying that she is 17.
That's true.
Well, no, hold on. So, he's talking about something that happened in the past, and something that sounded like it happened at least a couple of years in the past. So that's even worse, because he's like implying that
we don't know how long ago it was. Don't make implications that aren't there.
I want to say we can safely assume this was like a year ago, minimum.
Right. Let's think about it. So,
Okay.
if they go to Malaga, we can assume they went away in the summer, right?
Yeah.
If they got married on the 6th of April, yeah, so it's going to be nearly a year ago.
Yeah.
Crazy. Pierce, how do you want to defend that
Just
one?
after her 17th. I don't want to defend anything. I'm just trying to get the maths straight in my head. For fuck's
I'm just saying, you have a rivalry with Ari about this. Ari's stance is, Ari, let me know if I'm wrong, anti-pedophilia, right?
Yeah, you nailed it.
I don't like that my words are being twisted against me. This is... Oh,
So they keep fighting a little bit. They keep bickering back and forth, and then Stacey tries to diffuse the situation by like telling Gavin to give Smithy like his present early. And
wait. Just a minute before there's a cute little moment where Smithy sort of admits to himself and everyone that he's upset because he missed his best buddy. He missed Gavin, and you know these two boys really do love each other, and it's great. I don't care. Whatever.
I noticed that you're not making eye contact with the screen right now, Pierce.
Make eye contact with your mum. How about that? And we find out that Lucy's grounded as well. Lucy's grounded.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Pierce, I sent you something when I was watching this, because she's grounded because they found some. What is the line?
Oh, so they found 10 B&H in her bag. Yeah.
I don't know what that meant, so I had to Google it. May, did you know what this meant?
I assume drugs.
Kind of.
Yeah.
B&H are a brand of cigarettes. And like
the boomer's drug. Yeah.
So she had a 10 deck in her bag. You can't buy 10 decks anymore. You can't buy packs of 10 cigarettes anymore. It's like, I think it's 20 minimum now.
Interesting.
But then, May, then what happens?
Yeah, so Smithy and Gavin keep bickering, and then Stacey tries to diffuse the situation by like telling Gavin that he should give Smithy's gift early. And I really like this part because Gavin's like, really? And then both Stacey and Smithy at the same time go like, yes.
Yes.
That part was really funny.
It's really, no, that's props where they're due. That's really well acted.
It's really good, right? It's just the deadpan yes from Smithy is so good.
I also like that, like, the shot is on Smithy's face, and you can just hear Stacey in the background.
Yes. Gavin gives Smithy the bottle. I don't know, it's like an alcoholic drink of some sort, and Smithy's looking at it like it is a newborn fucking baby.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He's got like such an emotional response.
Bro's an alcoholic.
And then Mick comes in with, well, thank God for that, which is another thing I say all the time.
Yeah. And Smithy agrees to go to the dinner with the folks. And then it cuts to later on. They're arriving at the dinner. They're getting out of the car.
Everyone's at Capriccio's.
Capriccio's, my favorite place, personally.
For real.
Yeah, I'm always saying that.
And Beppe is greeting them all. They're clearly regulars here because Beppe, like I think he knows them by name and stuff. Do we know Beppe?
He was in Doctor Who, but I'm not sure who he played.
Oh,
did he play? Can I guess? Did he play?
Yeah, go for
it. In season 4, with the scene where it's like the whole world is fucked. Turn left, and there's like the fucking there's the fucking neighbor that gets like deported or whatever.
Yeah, that's him. That's the guy. It's Beppe.
They're all singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, that's the one. That's him. Played by Joseph Long. He actually played 2 characters in Doctor Who. So the first was Rocco Colasanto, the guy in the Noble Family end up living with in Turn Left, and the second was in a. Do you know the second one? Do you have an idea?
No, but I don't really have a guess. No.
Okay. He plays the Pope in the episode Extremis.
Oh.
Yeah. So he played 2 different roles. He killed it, I think, and he's a good guy. Yeah. I like him. But who is also at the restaurant as well as the Pope?
Pete and Dawn.
And
they're like, they go up to them and like they try to greet them and say, hey, how's it going? I'm back from the fucking honeymoon, and it is tense as fuck.
They do not look pleased to see everyone at all.
I don't know how they don't seem to read this situation fast enough.
There's like a few moments in Gavin's. Another one was the phone. You know, the episode, the phone call at the start with the phone call, the titular phone call, where they just didn't read like Stacey couldn't read that Gavin had his boss next to him the whole time. Yeah. There's a few moments like this throughout the show, which just, you could call it lazy writing, I guess, where it's just like, you know, in real life, people would understand that they don't want to talk to you or whatever. But, you know, what are you going to do? Nothing's perfect.
Yeah. Bold of you to say about Gavin and Stacey. I do think that like they start to sort of read the situation when like the third guy sits down.
Seth! We meet Seth!
Yeah.
I'll say it. I'm back on board on the Pete and Dawn thing. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I've 180'd once more.
I'm glad that you're flipping around every time we meet him. That's really good. So yeah, Seth, as you said, Seth sits down, and every time Seth sits down, I let out a big sigh because I know what's coming later in the episode.
Yeah, that's not great.
But he does go, the way he goes, hello, I find that hilarious. I think that's really fun. He just sits down, and Pete goes, this is Seth, and he's, hello. And that's his only line.
I like that Bryn's getting none of he's not understanding it because like they both introduce Seth as a different person. Yeah. And Pete introduces him as a coworker, and like what does Dawn introduce him?
Dawn says he works at the butcher's.
Yeah. And Bryn interprets that as okay, clearly Pete works at the butcher's.
I never knew you were a butcher, Pete. And then Pete commits. He's like, Yes, I am. And then I got so much respect for Pete in that moment because he just fully went in on it.
Yes, and in that moment.
Yeah, for real. And even Mick here is absolutely stumped, which is wild. Like, usually, if anyone can diffuse a situation, it's Mick.
Yeah.
Like, if anyone can do it efficiently, it's Mick. But he just sort of goes, oh, well, nice to see. We better. Oh, yeah, he doesn't know what to say in this situation.
Yeah.
But they all go and sit down at their own table.
Yeah, and a few minutes later, they're ordering the food.
They are.
And my main comment is that good on Bryn for not being stressed out in this situation. I'd be having a panic attack. The waiter comes by before I've determined what I want to order, and it's my turn to say what I want. Brother, I am dying at this table.
This is where I wrote that Bryn may be one of the best TV show characters of all time.
Oh yeah.
I just think it was really cute the way he's like, trying to pick his order, and then he's just very happy-go-lucky about it. It's like, I don't know.
I'm gone
really
with the
cute.
gnocchi.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so happy about it. Like, he's like, oh, apologies for the wait. These things take
I know,
time.
it's so
and,
cute.
and Gwen walks in. He's like, Gwen, I've gone with the gnocchi. And he's like, oh, Mick, I'm having a wonderful time. He's like, no one has said anything apart from him in the last like 30 seconds, and he's like, I'm having the best time. Oh, he's so good, man. And then we come to Nessa.
She speaks perfect Italian.
She speaks Italian, bro.
She does, man. What a woman. I love it so much. She's like, sì, buonasera.
I like at the end, she's just like tidy or something.
Yeah.
She says tidy, and like it's like the Welsh accent is like really like it's a...
Yeah, just straight back into the thickest Welsh accent you've ever heard. I love it. Tidy. But then we're later in the night, and Nessa sort of quietly goes off to the loo.
Mm-hmm.
They bring up paragliding, and Bryn doesn't know what that is.
Gwen's always wanted to paraglide. Fucking thrill seeker over here.
No, thank you for me.
No, yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, my family, we went on a family vacation, and my family went paragliding, and I stayed on the boat.
Was the boat ride fun at least?
It was. I love a boat. I love a boat ride.
Oh, sick.
But I was not about that. I don't have like a major fear of heights, but like I also don't want to be up high. Like, you know, like,
I don't have fear of heights, but I don't like being up high. Fuck that.
I'd just rather stay on the ground.
And Bryn is fucking absolutely floored by this idea, man. He's mind blown. He's like, you're attached to a boat and you're in the air at the same time? What the fuck? Witchcraft?
Stacey notices that Nessa is pretty like distraught when she's going to the bathroom. So she goes and follows Nessa into the bathroom and just kind of confronts her about the fact that like she didn't tell.
Yeah.
Not confronts her because that sounds mean, but like she asks her about the fact that like she didn't tell Smithy about the pregnancy, I guess.
Yeah. I think the vibe I've been getting is that she's kind of been waiting all evening to get Nessa alone and ask her about this.
For sure. And we get a rare what's occurring from Stacey. That's usually a Nessa phrase, but Stacey hits Nessa with a what's occurring.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to note, I really like Stacey's top in this scene. It's really nice. It's like a purple.
I wrote a note that I liked her dress in the first scene of the episode, in the airport. I don't remember it now. Sorry.
It's like a summer dress.
Yeah, it's like a summer.
Isn't it?
Yeah, a little summer dress.
Bunch of fashionistas in the chat.
We finally get like absolute confirmation that Nessa has not told Smithy that she's pregnant. Like until now, it's just sort of been heavily implied.
Yeah.
But Nessa just starts giving some insults to Smithy. she says that Smithy has a disgusting face and that he's vile and English.
Yeah. I was cheering.
which isn't racist, it's xenophobic, if you guys don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And Stacey says to Nessa that she has to tell Smithy, but Nessa just goes, I can't, because then I'd have to admit that this is actually happening and I can't do that. And then a couple of episodes ago, May, you suggested that Ness might have some like minor denial going on about like going out drinking instead of buying a pregnancy test. More evidence of this, man. This is it.
I should become a professional read a scene in a TV show person.
For real.
I wish this translated to real life, but in real life I cannot read a situation for shit. So unfortunately my talents are just going to be through, I guess, Gavin and Stacey.
That's fine. That's all you really need, to be fair.
Yeah. This is where Gwen emerges, right?
This is where Gwen walks in, So Stacey does like an exposition dump, like just being like, "You're pregnant with Smithy's child," or whatever.
It's
and
not a conversation you would be having.
Yeah. I've said it before that when this show does exposition, it's like it's the weakest part of the show because this show is like the best thing about it is how little exposition there is. And when there's any, it's like really noticeable.
All right, so Gwen comes out. I've written, Gwen will sort this out.
Gwen will sort this out. Gwen will fix everything.
I feel like, my feeling when she first like came out and we realized that she was there, I was like, oh yeah, okay, now this is handled.
This is handled, baby. But then, May, we go back to the table, and what were you going to say? I'm sure. Well,
I do not have a note. My next note is when they're back in the bathroom. So I don't. Well, I mean, I guess it's cool that they're still explaining paragliding to Bryn. That's kind of
yes. They go back and they're still explaining paragliding to Bryn. He's still getting his head around it, and And then Smithy starts telling the anecdote about Budgie jumping off a cliff. And I have a couple of notes about this. Like,
Yeah.
so Smithy does sticks his ears out to tell Bryn who Budgie is, and Bryn's laugh when he does that. Bryn giggles at it.
Yeah,
and it's really
yeah.
adorable. And Smithy sort of is exaggerating the story a little bit, and Gavin pulls him back because he's like, "Oh, there's a cliff like 500 feet up," and Gavin's like, "It was about 80 feet, but yeah, okay." And I wrote who among us hasn't at one point been both Smithy and Gavin in this scenario?
Yeah.
I've exaggerated stories, and I've also called people out on exaggerating stories.
Yeah.
I think exaggerating stories is so much fun. I don't understand.
Oh, really? I
I'm
didn't
usually
know that
the
about
person
you.
exaggerating. Shut the fuck up, man. I'm a big fan of making the fish bigger every time. I'm a big fan of acting like everything is life or death. It's just more fun than the opposite of just being like, yeah, it was just 80 feet. No, it wasn't. It was 1,000. The more you call me out, the bigger this fucking cliff is gonna be.
I feel like 80 feet is still really impressive, though. You don't need to exaggerate it.
No, 80 feels like a small number compared to 500, so I'm gonna be saying.
Well, why don't you do
500.
it in millimeters then? 80,000 millimeters or whatever.
Because I'm
All
not
right,
a
nerd.
fucking nerd.
Grow up then. But the food arrives, and Pam is like, "Oh, well, I'll go and get the girls from the loo." And we cut back to the loo, where Gwen is having a beautiful little mother figure moment with Ness. She's like, "Oh, this is going to be the making of you, Ness. You're going to be amazing."
Okay, I don't know. So I'm not sure if I'm just asking because I'm not sure if I've missed something. Nessa doesn't really have a family as far as we know, right?
There's been no mention so far of Nessa's family at all.
I was trying to figure out if Gwen was Nessa's primary mother figure.
As far as we know, could be. I mean, we've heard nothing about Nessa's family at the moment.
Yeah. Coming up in just a second here, there's a moment, a similar moment when Pam finds out that Smithy is having a child. It's very similar.
Is it? What? I can't remember what the moment is.
Well, okay, so you're saying that this is a really sweet moment where Gwen is Nessa's kind of mother figure, and she's kind of finding out that Nessa's pregnant. It's kind of a special moment for Gwen as well. And then Pam, I feel kind of has a similar. Her reaction is different, but it's a similar she's grown up with Smithy being around. And now he's going to be a dad.
What's her reaction? I don't remember it.
Well, she's like, "Dear God," or something.
Oh my Christ! Is that it? That's her. That's her special reaction.
Well, no, it's not. It's just that it's a big. I don't know. It's a big deal for her.
Right. Okay. I get it. Yeah. It's not like it's happening to someone she doesn't know. It's happening to someone she cares about.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
I get you. Yeah. You're absolutely right. I totally agree with that.
She's not. She has a big for fuck's sake reaction, but she's concerned because she cares for Smithy. I think.
Yeah. I totally. Yeah. You're so right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then Dawn
Pam
runs
walks
in. Oh, I'm way ahead of you guys.
Yeah. No, you're right. No. You're right. Dawn walks in. Go on, carry on.
Dawn walks in and she's fucking crying. She's
bawling.
She's absolutely destroyed.
This is staged as fuck. She waited for there to be a bunch of people in the bathroom. We kind of get confirmation of this too, where there's a shot of her later where no one's looking at her and her face just drops. It's just she's faking it.
Oh, right. Yeah. I know what you mean.
I missed that. I completely missed that. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
It's later in the episode, but some Mick says that Pete is outside. He's sort of drinking and laughing, and Dawn just goes, "Oh, all right then."
Oh, okay.
Pete's not upset about it. Well, fuck it.
Yeah.
Why is he not upset? I should be annoyed at him for not being upset.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pam Dawn at the moment is crying her eyes out, and Pam just fucking whacks her across the face.
Yeah.
Full right hook, decks the woman.
So this is what I was saying in the wedding episode too, where Pam, I think, kind of gets Dawn's deal, where
she knows how to handle Dawn. She's
exactly,
really good at it. Yeah. And then so she says Seth's gone, and then someone says, "Who's Seth?" and deep sigh. Here we go.
This is where I wrote my note was, "Oh fuck this."
Oh fuck this. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, so she just kind of gestures at her face to indicate who Seth is. Because obviously Seth is the only black character we've met this episode. There you go.
I remember when you brought up that Fingers was the first named non-white character, and this is the second, so we're doing well so far.
Amazing.
Wait, no, third, because we did meet Ahmed.
Yeah, we met Ahmed, didn't we?
And I remember I said Ahmed, and you guys were like, Maylina, you're so fucking racist for like assuming that Ahmed wouldn't be white. But guess who was fucking right? Guess who was correct?
Great.
It's not less racist because you're a right man.
Sorry, what kind of flowers do you want for that? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I just want the points.
Okay, great. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think so. This happens like 4 times. I don't think I'm gonna go into it each time. But I don't like this joke. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know anyone in 2025 who does.
Yeah. And this is this kind of like I know like it's the time or whatever. This does it brings down my enjoyment of the episode a little bit just because it goes on so long and they do it like I don't know.
Yeah, they do it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
It's just so unnecessary.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of distasteful comedy. You can understand like how people would have found it funny at the time, but for this, I just don't. I never found it funny. Like not even because I was so woke or whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't offend me at the time.
Like if you try to think through like what's the joke, there's just nothing. There's just nothing there.
Exactly.
They're just being kind of racist. Like okay.
Yeah, it's just like okay, right, that's it. But yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about it.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
It's just it's not that great. But so they explain the situation with Seth, Pete, and Dawn. Their counselor suggested that they basically have a 3-way. So they found Seth online. They basically catfished him. Like they just sent him like 15-year-old pictures.
That becomes clear as the conversation progresses too.
Yeah,
like,
as the conversation progresses.
Like, he left. I don't understand why.
Yeah. Yes, it was an old photo, but have I changed that much in 15 years? And then after all of the explanation about Seth is over, they're like, oh, and by the way, Nessa's pregnant, and Smithy's the father, and then we get Pam's "Oh my Christ" moment.
Yeah.
I do like that every time there's a new character, they like brief him on, and it's just so funny every time. It'll be like, Pete and Dawn tried to have a threesome, and Nessa's pregnant, and Smithy's the father.
I do like how this was done.
I like this bit.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, the repetition. We're going back to what we said we weren't going to talk about anymore, but whatever. The repetition of who's Seth, and then they just gesture at their face.
Yeah.
It's part of the bit which makes it funny, but it could have been anything else. They could have said anything else at that thing to have the same amount of repetition, and it still would have been equally as funny. But yeah, it's the amount of things that are repeated is really funny. I really like it. So they walk in, Seth's gone, who's Seth? Gesture at the face, Nessa's pregnant, and Smithy's the father. And that just catches everyone up on the entire situation. I find that really funny.
Yeah, and so then they go back to the table. They don't go back to the table, but we go back to the table. And I'll tell you guys, I learned very recently that it's a rule that you're supposed to wait for people if you receive the food, but like they're not there.
Oh, fuck that, man.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I didn't know that, and like I learned it recently, and I fucking hated learning it because I never fucking do that.
I'm not doing it. If I'm sat at a table and there's food in front of me and I'm hungry, I'm eating it. Like
no, yeah, me too. I've given up on this rule, but like when I learned it in the moment, I was like, oh fuck, here we go.
Here we go. Another thing that I have to think about. I have to spend every waking moment.
No, yeah, because it's all fake.
It's legit. But yeah, back at the table, Gavin starts talking about this pepper grinder, and Smithy just has a tantrum about it. Of course he does. But I will say that Gavin does have some backbone here. Like Smithy's going off at him, talking about like, oh, you're always chatting about Greece now. You're gonna be going on about this honeymoon forever. And Gavin just goes, "Come on, mate, I'm back now. Stop it. Like, fucking grow up."
Yeah.
Which I'm sure everyone enjoyed.
Okay, so I also wrote, does Smithy have a mom?
We haven't heard anything about her at this point in the show, so maybe he does, maybe he doesn't.
Okay.
Why did you write that? Well, at what point?
This must have been having to do with Pam's reaction to finding out that
maybe
Smithy was having a baby.
But there's a moment where Smithy is like, so if you thought of me all the time, give me an example. Like, when did you think of me? And there's a big long pause where Gavin is like sort of sat there thinking, like stone faced, and massive pause. There's a beat, and then he just goes, tennis. and for some reason, I find this moment so fucking funny.
It's really funny. It's really funny that Smithy asks this. To be honest,
Yeah. and Smithy gets a little smirk on his face afterwards because he's like, "Yeah, we would have had a really good game." And it's just a really, really cute little moment.
Yeah.
But he says to Gavin, "Should we play tennis tomorrow? Because, we would have a good game." And Gavin's like, "No, I can't. I'm busy. I've got stuff to do with the
wife
wedding."
stuff.
And Smithy's just back to being pissed off again. There's been no progress made here.
Tell you what, if Gavin and Stacey ever have a kid, and like Gavin, because your free time kind of gets cut a little bit when you have a kid, that's gonna be hard on Smithy.
Oh yeah, no, Smithy's
for
gonna.
real.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a meltdown.
Yeah.
If that happens.
If that happens.
I'm watching Pierce's face really carefully right now.
Yeah, I'm trying so hard to like not give anything away, like whether or not they do have a kid at any point.
Hold on, Pierce, look at me.
Hello.
They have a kid.
Oh, really?
I also suspect my prediction is that they will have a kid.
I mean, I'm terrible at reading people, so like my guess on Pierce's face was about 50-50, but like if I'm right, that's hilarious. Like I looked at your face, and then halfway through I was like, wait a second, you can't read people for shit. How do you navigate this? And I was like, just guess.
And you said it with such confidence. You were like, they're the kid.
Yeah, well, fake it till you make it, don't.
Let me try something. Pierce, how many kids do Gavin and Stacey have?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Fuck.
His face says 3.
His face says, my face says 3.
If I'm right about all of this, it's going to be insane.
All right, are we ready to go back to the bathroom?
Yeah,
Yes.
so yeah, Mick goes and looks for the ladies, and on his way he sees Pete, who's drinking wine from a bottle, but bro is cooked, man.
Yes.
Yeah, and he knows about Mick's dick size.
Yeah, exactly.
He
That's
does.
the second mention of Mick's dick this episode.
This time implying that he's like hung or whatever. So now we
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
to like
you gotta
average it out. I'm assuming it's an average dick.
Everyone send in your guesses for how big Mick's dick is.
Go in centimeters or inches, it's fine, but you have to put in the unit of measurement afterwards.
Well, Pierce monitors our email, and he's a metric bitch. So maybe go centimeters.
I am a metric bitch. I love a metric, mate. But Pam sort of calls Mick over into the bathroom, and he sort of sees everyone crying. Then he's caught up on the situation. He goes through the Seth's gone, who's Seth? This is Brendan Smith, he's the father situation.
Yeah.
And then Mick goes and grabs Pete to bring Pete in.
I wrote at a certain point, I was like, no one cares about Dawn's thing.
Literally. This whole Dawn subplot I just don't care about at all.
Read the room, man.
Yeah, we got bigger fish to fry right now.
Yeah.
We got back to Bryn talking to Gavin Smithy about how he's never had a best friend. Only Trevor, God rest his soul.
Tragic.
Yeah. Aw, yeah,
Yeah.
no, this was kind of sad.
Yeah. And
But-
he says that he's always been close with Nessa. which is
Exactly.
really sad.
Bryn acknowledges the bromance. And I sniffed
I
that
love
out
that.
half an episode before, so there we go. I get the
Yeah,
points.
for real. And while Bryn is talking about how his lack of friends, Gav sort of looks over and spots Mick like handling Pete, like trying to help him to the bathroom. And I'll tell you what, Adrian Scarborough, like the guy who plays Pete, he kills the drunk acting. Like he does such a good job, I think.
Yeah. So they bring him to the table. He gets they bring him to the bathroom. I'm sorry. There's a whole bathroom scene. We're back at the table. and I wrote that Smithy offers himself as a BFF to Bryn. Ari, thoughts on that?
Whoa.
You didn't stop me beforehand.
Because I didn't know what you were saying until you finished it.
I feel like I speak pretty clearly.
First of all, we have Gavin and Mick and Pete going into the bathroom with
Yes.
Pete. Ness reveals that she's planning to keep the baby. She wants to keep it.
Yeah.
This is a big. We haven't had confirmation of this yet. This is a big thing.
And I think so at least I don't remember what May said, but one of my predictions was that this wouldn't happen. So
yeah. There was. Well, I mean, we still don't know whether she will end up having the kid.
That's true.
This is her intention at this point.
She's not gonna have it, according to Pierce's face.
Okay. All right.
All of these are 50-50.
I'm like kind of surprised by this plotline. I didn't really see like a Nessa having a child plotline coming.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I would say that anything that you could conceive of happening in the real world is something that could happen in Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then Pam and Gwen while they're talking to Nessa, and they're both being like really lovely to her, like advising her on how she'll handle it and stuff. And then they catch Gavin up. They do the whole Seth's gone. Who's Seth? Nessa's pregnant. Smithy's the father. Gavin gets caught up, and then we go back to Bryn and Smithy at the table, and Smithy offering to be Bryn's best mate. Go on.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, Ari, thoughts on that? Your least favorite character offering to be best friends with your favorite character?
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan. I think Bryn deserves way better than that.
Bryn does have Nessa though.
Yeah, it is just, I think, in Bryn's nature to be nice to everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they agree to like go out every weekend in Swindon, and like they agree to be best buddies. And Smithy even calls Bryn Brynlar. Like he's reusing nicknames.
Yes.
And they start stealing everyone's food, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you want some of Gwen's lasagna?
Yeah.
Bring it on. Look at them. I love these two.
Fair play, I think.
Yeah, for real. They've been in the bathroom for like what feels like half an hour at this point.
And so we're back to the bathroom, right, Pierce?
And then we're back to the bathroom, yeah.
Okay, and Mick is the voice of reason, right, Pierce?
Mick is the voice of reason, but just before he starts being reasonable, Gavin has a moment where he's annoyed that Stacey didn't tell him. Like, bro, that's not really any of your business.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I know they're married now, so like, they should share stuff with each other.
But like for a pregnancy too, like you wouldn't even necessarily be telling all these people for a couple months. Like,
exactly. I don't think Stacey was in the wrong for not telling Gavin at this point.
Yeah, I think the pregnant person basically decides usually who knows what.
Yeah. Go on then. Well, and then what happens with Mick?
Well, Mick is the voice of reason, and he, and he says like the one person you guys haven't told is the one person who should know, and I think it's funny that everybody goes like Bryn.
yeah. Stacey's like Bryn.
Usually I'd be like, okay, Smithy's drunk, so maybe don't tell him right now, like I did with the wedding. But now he's like drunk in every scene, so maybe I'm thinking more. When's the intervention episode?
Is Smithy drunk?
I think he is. No, am I full of shit?
Maybe he's had like 1 or 2 beers. I don't think he's drunk though.
I don't know.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe you're right. But yeah, this is it. This is the moment. They all walk out while Bryn and Smithy are still having their like arranging their hangout sessions. Oh, and also Bryn steals Mick's last slice of pizza, which is a cardinal sin in my opinion. Taking someone's last slice of pizza without their permission, no less.
I think taking anybody's food without their permission is pretty fucked. But like,
yeah, this is it. Does anyone want to say the final line?
Well, Nessa shows up and she looks at Bryn and she's like, "I got something to tell you." And Smithy.
that's a plot twist right there. No one was expecting that.
You had your chance and you didn't take it. Nessa shows up and she looks at Smithy and Smithy's like, "What's up, bitch?" And Nessa goes like, "Actually, I'm fucking pregnant and you're the dad." And it cuts to Smithy's face, and I like how it's a still shot of his face for like a good 20 seconds.
20? You see, you're exaggerating. It was about 3 seconds.
I never said I wasn't, man.
You're doing a Smithy.
I like that because presumably James Corden was like, just keep looking at the camera and just like waiting for them to say cut. And I just think that that's really funny.
But yeah, it's a fucking sick cliffhanger, I think. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is the end of the episode. So do you want to jump into some predictions? What do you guys think is going to happen next week? Or what do you guys think is going to happen this season, and what do you think is going to happen next week specifically?
That's a good question. I should have thought about this before we started recording. I think next episode is gonna, I feel like a dangerous prediction because last time I said this I was wrong. I feel like next episode is going to lead straight off of this. And then maybe this is the episode. Because you said there's one other episode that doesn't begin with a phone call, so maybe that's next episode.
I did. Okay, right. Sure.
Well, you did say this was a part 1, part 2.
Yeah, I did. That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah,
I did mention at the start this is like part 1, part 2. So that would make sense based on what I've said so far.
I'm wondering if Smithy is, because Smithy's like a hot take, but not a very mature guy. I'm wondering if he's gonna like be like, you shouldn't keep it or something. Like, I'm not ready to be a dad. I'm not ready to be a dad.
That sort of track, based on what we've seen from Smithy so far, that sort of would make sense. Yeah, that track.
Okay, all right, and then season as a whole. Let me think. I actually know a little bit because BritBox gives you a little like one-line summary of the season, so I know a little bit about the central conflict for the season.
Okay, yeah, maybe don't say anything about that.
Okay.
I think I know what you're talking about, but maybe don't say anything about it.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe May say whatever you're going to predict, and I'll
go on, May. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen next episode, and what do you think is going to happen throughout the rest of the series?
Well, I think definitely Smithy's not going to be down for this baby, and Nessa is going to be down for this baby, and like it'll be a lot, and the whole season will be about like what are they going to do? You know what I mean? And or knowing this fucking show, maybe we'll cut to episode 2 and she'll have gotten rid of it, and it'll be like, yeah, we solved it. We solved this issue off screen. We'll cut
to next episode, and they have like a 15-year-old.
Yeah. If they don't just get rid of it next episode, the whole season is going to be about this potential Schrodinger's baby.
Okay, right. Schrodinger's
and
baby.
for Gavin and Stacey, it's just going to be like normal Gavin and Stacey relationship stuff sprinkled in with the fact that like, you know, saying you're going to get married is one thing because you love each other and stuff, but like then actually like living with this person every day, that's a whole different can of beans.
Sure, okay.
Maybe it turns out that like Stacey is like a kleptomaniac or something.
Yeah.
Like in Breaking Bad. There's a subplot where one of the characters is a kleptomaniac.
I don't even remember that. I've seen Great Breaking Bad. I don't particularly remember that. But
it's a very weird subplot that doesn't really mean anything. But on that bombshell, it's time for 3 good things. For those of you who might not know, at the end of each episode, we each like to share a good thing that's happened to us recently and just leave the episode on a high note. Who wants to go first?
I have a master's degree.
Nice.
Oh, did you finally graduate? Did you finally get it?
I did, yeah. I mean, it hasn't arrived in the mail yet, because I think I still have to pay the university some money.
Right, gotcha.
But
fucking you did it, man.
Yeah, I got my grades back. I passed everything.
Let's fucking go.
Once I pay the money, they're gonna mail me a diploma or whatever.
So if you don't have the physical diploma, does it like still count? Does it not count if you don't have the thing?
I mean, I don't know. This is nothing. I don't know. Like, at this point, I'm telling like employers that I have a degree. I just basically. Yeah. You know, I don't know. It's fine. It's fine.
You got it. You got this in the bag, man. You fucking smashed it. Awesome. My good thing is that I went to a comedy show last night. It was pretty good. Yeah. That's it. I just had a good time overall. It was a good night. Yeah. What about you, May?
Pretty good Doctor Who episode last Saturday.
Yeah, for real.
That's my good thing.
You're such a cop-out.
Fucking eye roll, man.
Such a cop-out, man.
Or am I a cop-out?
We can only use that for 1 more week, so I think it's fine.
That's true.
Pierce, am I a cop-out or are you just like a fake fan? Because to me, pretty good Doctor Who episode is a good thing. But to you, it's what, neutral? You don't give a fuck?
But with that, thank you ever so much for listening. If you'd like to keep up with the show, we're on TikTok, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Fishing Trip Files, so do give us a follow over there. Or if you ever want to get in touch with the show for whatever reason, you can email us at thefishingtripfiles@gmail.com. If you want to help out the show without it costing a penny, please feel free to leave us a review or rating on your podcast platform of choice. We'd appreciate it very, very much. Once again, this podcast is produced by Another Happy Studios, so please do check out the other podcasts from them if you haven't already. All their wonderful stuff is linked in the show notes, but for now, we'll see you on the Wednesday after next at 10 a.m. with the next episode, and as we always say, au revoir!
Adios!
Rock and roll. Do nothing.
Do you want to say the story anyway? And now that I'm asking for the story, I can't take the piss out of you for it.
I really want to. I really want to.
That's in the story.
It's short. As a kid, we had a Prince
Right,
pizzeria near my house.
Before you say anything else, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep all this in, and then I'm going to say, as a kid, static cut. Carry on.
As a kid, I'm sorry. Okay. As a kid, my favorite restaurant was Prince's Pizzeria.
For sure.
Just because